night. But of course, we are talking soccer. If you were watching Fox, as you should have all day long, you saw the women's team claim the gold in the World Cup. Joined now in studio by Mr. Tony Tony Sanneh. Now, Tony, you and I go way back. I know that you played in World Cup. I know you played in the MLS, but let me ask you this. A lot of people are going to say, he's not a man. He can't understand. And I have been saying this all day long on Twitter. He's not a woman. Okay. You're a man. Yes. You don't understand how it feels for women to do what they did. And I disagree. I think all soccer players, I think everyone in this country just kind of glommed onto this team this whole way and felt that, whether you were a female, whether you were a male, whether you played soccer or not. What is your take on that?
I mean, I do think the country got behind the team. Obviously, they're the best team in the world, and the World Cup is a huge event for them. I think there's a little extra catalyst because, you know, in this country, we're trying to set the example for the rest of the world and empower women. And so these girls are you know, laying the trail for the future.
It was just amazing. So we're going to take you through the highlights. I know a lot of you have been watching it, but this is amazing. We have to take you through it. First of all, we start with everyone coming out, and we know that it's Carly Lloyd. This goal making it 1-0, and it was early on in the game. We were in breathing room. What were your thoughts on this goal?
Well, there might have been a little defensive breakdown, and you go into the game thinking set pieces, don't give up anything, and the U.S. was sharp. And you know, whether or not the turf had anything to do with these crosses, because they're all on the ground, but the U.S. obviously was more aggressive, found the ball, and the Japanese had some mental lapse, and Carly Lloyd especially took advantage of these first two goals with great strikes.
The first two goals, amazing. And right when we thought the first one was in, and then the second one, that never happens in soccer.
You know, not that quickly. And then I think, you know, the Japanese were flustered a little bit, and you see a defensive breakdown and a great strike here. And, you know, now it was kind of like, okay, this thing is over. And the U.S., you know, sometimes when you score that early, you get a little complacent, but we just kept our foot on the gas.
And Holiday with that great leg reach out for that goal. Now, this is the goal everyone is talking about. You hate to see that for the Japanese goaltender, but let me tell you, even on FIFA games, you can't score from half field.
Yeah, well, it's a great strike and maybe the play of the World Cup. And, you know, great vision by Carly Lloyd to see the goalkeeper was that far out. Obviously, she stumbles a little bit, but she was in the right spot, but her team lost the ball, and Carly Lloyd just made a quick decision and took advantage of the loss. And here again, you see another set piece, a poor clearance. They tell you to head the ball high and wide and back in the box, and the USA is able to capitalize again.
And you know, not only did we love seeing the hat trick, we love seeing the 5-2 final. When you look at World Cup finals and you look at scores like that, it's been parity around the league. The whole tournament has been so tight. Were you surprised to see a blowout in the final game?
You know, I was 98% that we were going to win, but I didn't think it'd be a blowout. The way this team came together, you just kind of knew it, and they'd been playing well, and they'd beat higher ranked teams throughout the tournament, so I expected a win.
A lot of people were expecting a win. They were hoping what happened the last time these two teams met, when it went to the shootout and they lost. It was just heartbreaking that kind of USA came in with a chip on their shoulder. But they were also saying, no, we're going to leave it all on the field. You kind of got that too, that they were not going to let something like that happen twice. Yeah,
and you know, you couldn't help but you know, actually being happy for Japan the last time after the tsunami over there, and this was like our turn, and we've been a world power for a long time, but we actually haven't won the World Cup since '99. So it was a great group and kind of a changing of the guard, and it's a great example to the future and the young women coming up that there are spots for us in the team.
All right, we're going to take a look at Carly Lloyd specifically. I know that she's the one that everyone is talking about. She got the hat trick of goals, but she also got MVP, basically. Yeah. You know, she got the golden ball. What can you say about her play and her leadership skills?
You know, she was the captain. She played multiple positions. She got the rest of the team involved. I mean, she was the player of the tournament, and she was the top scorer and a true team player and brought leadership to the whole team. So what more can you say than, you know, it was I don't want to say a coming out party for her because she was already the captain and a great player, but a tremendous tournament.
And you can't win anything without great defense, and Hope's solo was amazing, but the defenders in front of her, what can you say about Hope in terms of we know what she could be, but the whole team kind of rallied behind defense first and then scoring goals.
Yeah, and Hope had a great tournament, and I'm not taking anything away from her, but I think the defense really came through, and I don't think there was a lot of chances. You know, Hope Solo did everything she was asked to do, but the defense, I think, is the, you know, underrated group here that really held it together. Not a lot of shots on goals, and really kept the USA in every game.
Was there a fear when you see them score so many goals that they can get so excited it's the final game that maybe defense might have been secondary at that point? Did you ever see a point where they regrouped and reclaimed that?
Well, they did a couple of times. It's a 3-goal game, and the most dangerous score in soccer is a 2-goal lead, because you know they score one and then it's all panic. And so every time we got to 3 and they looked like they might come a little closer, or to 4 and they got it back to 3, you know, we just turned it back on and put our foot down and regrouped and scored another goal. The
one thing I really loved, and a lot of people noticed, was the trading of the captain armband.
Yes, and that just shows
respect is so big.
And that just shows the morale of this team. You know, Abby Wambach is an older player, and you know, not in the top 11 anymore, but was kept on the team for her leadership, and she's still a great player. And although the player of the tournament respects her position, and this just shows to win championships, and you know, my 2002 team, everybody knows their role and contributes and wants just to be part of a team, and that's why they won today. And that's why they've been so great the whole tournament.
And so fun to watch.
And so fun to watch.
Well, we're going to hit a break, but when we come back, there's Sanneh camps. If you have not signed up or had a chance to go, please do. And also we're going to show some of the goodies. But I want to talk about the own goals. I don't want to waste a lot of time on it, but it was something very difficult for people to see, and where one could really be heartbreaking and one not so much that we had. So much more with Tony when we come back. Don't go away. You're watching Fox 9 Sports Now.
Fox 9 Sports Now.
Okay, so we've established that the women are World Cup winners and that Tony is a man. So far, you've learned a lot of things in the first block. Tony, there have been viewing parties all over, not only here in Minnesota, but all over the world. We're following Julie Foudy, ESPN, former soccer player, on Twitter all day long, and people were just from Ireland, from Des Moines to Chicago, and you were, you know, at a smaller one. But how much does this bring people together, and what does that mean for the Twin Cities and like for your camps?
Right. Well, first of all, you're following Julie and not me, so we might have an issue.
But I follow you as well.
All right. Well, I think that just shows, you know, the power of the sport. The World Cup last year was a testament to how you saw people all over the world coming together in a peaceful way, celebrating our differences.
Right.
And now the same thing again for the Women's World Cup. So it's been great. It's great for the sport. It's great for women, and it's great for international relations.
Let's just touch briefly on the own goals. I mean, we saw what happened to Laura Bassett from England, and just how much that just crushed her. And at least the team came out with a bronze, and she played extremely well. What can something like that, have you ever had one, first of all? And what can that do to a player's psyche?
I've had some own goals.
Some?
I've had a couple.
More than one?
More than one. And, you know, there's not really much you can do. And actually, we had an own goal against Portugal. It wasn't me, but, you know, your team usually rallies around you. And, but it's important that you bounce back quickly and put it behind you. And I think this player's performance, she did exactly that, and they came on to win. You know, you hate to have a career defined by it, and you know, you had the big tragedy in Colombia years ago where the player was murdered afterwards. So the best thing to do is bounce back, and you know, that just truly goes to show you the support of the team around you. And the U.S. had an own goal in the, I think, the quarterfinal games in '99, and they supported the players, and they came back to have a great World Cup.
And there was one today, but thankfully they had so many that it didn't even matter. All right, your stuff right here, your giveaways. If you have a child, and if you just caught soccer fever, Tony Sanneh obviously has soccer camps all over the Twin Cities, and you give out a goodie bag for all the kids. Can you tell us what's in this goodie bag, and also just what it means? You have so many cultures together coming just under the umbrella of soccer. That's just so beautiful.
Well, we want kids to have a safe play space, first of all. So we want them to be safe and healthy, and the Fairview Foundation provides water bottles so everyone can stay hydrated. Delta Dental provides an oral tooth kit, so we teach them how to brush their teeth, so they get one of these if they don't have it, and if they have one, they learn how to use it better. everyone likes a T-shirt, so Johnston's provides a T-shirt for everybody.
That's awesome.
And then we have a lot of other sponsors that kind of pitch in, including UCare, Comcast, and Minnesota Soccer Association that pitch in so we can put all these goodies in one bag. And they're really to bring cultures together, to play, to have a good time, and learn something in a positive environment.
When are your camps this summer, and how can people find out and sign up and get there?
There's 80 camps this summer.
80?
80, and they're all free. And you can go to sannehsoccer.com. We partner with St. Paul, Minneapolis Park and Rec and the surrounding suburbs, and they're usually from 9 a.m. to 11:30, 5 days in a week, or they're from 1 to 3:30. And I think this upcoming week we have several at nights that are 6 to 7:30.
So you have plenty of free time just to kick back and like go on the lakes and hang out?
I have plenty of free time to collect soccer balls at camp.
Will it heat up for you right after the World Cup now? Do you think that you'll be flooded with kids that are just so interested, and maybe an influx of young girls that want to come?
Yeah, I mean, we have a pretty good participation rate, but what happens is the young men and women will come and they'll start imitating the stars that they see on TV. And you know, you can only teach a kid so much in a small amount of time, but if you inspire them, they take those skills and really learn it. And that's what the Women's World Cup did. It's going to inspire a lot of young ladies and men to go and practice imitating their idols.
And the fact that until this game, all the games were close. There was so many just defense and skills and mind games, and people were on the edge of their seats. I thought it brought out a different personality of soccer that the non-soccer fans were yearning to see.
Yeah, I mean, people always complain about goals, so you know, I was telling somebody today, if this was a football game, we won 35-14, so pretty high scoring game. But it was exciting. I think the tension, you know, kept people drawn to the TV over the course of the tournament. I think the personalities and the bonding of the team itself, it was like Big Brother, you know. You saw this family develop, and I think our country got behind our team.
Well, we're behind soccer. I know it's the growing huge sport in Minnesota right now, and Tony, you're one of the absolute driving forces behind it, and we thank you for coming out tonight, as always.
Thank you.
Yeah. World Cup fever, baby.
World Cup fever.
And he is a man, and he understands. Tony Sanneh, check out his camps, 80, to get your kids involved. And if you want to volunteer and help them out, be sure to do that as well. When we come back, Major League Baseball, yeah, they named their all-star starters today. Were there any twins on it? We will tell you who made the list when we come back. Don't go away. Thanks.